Hello and welcome, everybody. Thanks for being here. Thanks for tuning in to my YouTube channel. I'm Santiago Faus, and I'm the CEO and founder of Marabou Partners, leaders in AI implementation. And the reason I'm making this video is because I've been in this business for a while. I've done lead gen, and my business has seen dramatic improvements once I started using these tools and mastering these tools. And a little bit about myself. When I think back on my life a year ago, I was sitting in an office I hated, working a job I hated under a boss I hated, living in a city that I absolutely despised. And not to be so negative, but at that point in life, I was absolutely miserable with where I was at and the direction I was headed. And fast forward to now, I've lived in Mexico, surfing some of the biggest waves I've ever surfed in my life. For those who don't know me, I'm a huge surfer. I love surfing. I lived in Colombia, met some phenomenal people, had some amazing networking going down there. And currently, I'm in Valencia, Spain. It's been my dream to move here. All my family is from this area of the world. My name's Santiago. I'm Spanish, so it's always been my dream to come back here to Spain. And so when I think back on how my life's changed since I've been able to use these tools, it honestly it makes me want to tear up because I've been living my dream just because I have been able to master these tools and help other businesses master these tools. So if I could help one or two of you elevate your business, kind of release those bottlenecks, or if you're a person who's stuck in a corporate job that you don't like, if this video helps you start your own business and live your dreams out, then I would consider this a success. So let's jump into it. Um, so there's really only four ways that you can sign clients. And I know people are going to disagree with me, but in the simplest form, there are only four ways you can sign clients. There's referrals, paid ads, cold outreach, and content. So with referrals, this is one that we can't use with AI. It's always going to be a tactic that we want to lean on, but it's not something that we can automate with AI. Why? Because it's your network. And why do you have this network? Because of you. These are your friends, your family, old coworkers, current coworkers, clients that you're working with, and they like you so much, they're confident in what you do that they refer business to you. Now, this is a slow growth tactic. It's very cost efficient, but it's not something that can be automated or optimized with AI. So we're not going to talk about this one in this video, but I just wanted to drop it in there because it is a very effective client acquisition tactic, just not something you want to use in the beginning. Unless you have a strong network. I mean, I can't speak to everyone. Some people do have strong networks. Next is paid ads. Now, Meta is by far the best way you're going to get a ROI on your paid ads. I think it has the most cost-effective cost per booking. But unfortunately, this isn't my expertise, so I don't want to speak on it. I do have a buddy, Mark Gennaro, who is phenomenal with paid ads. So if this is the direction that you want to take your business for client acquisition, I would recommend reaching out to him. And this is a very quick growth tactic, but it can be very costly. And there are some use cases where you can integrate AI into paid ads. But like I said, out of my expertise, so I don't want to stew in a direction that I'm not confident in. Now, where my expertise lies is in cold outreach and content, and these can be heavily optimized with AI. I'm the biggest fan of cold outreach. It's my favorite client acquisition tactic. Before I started my own agency, I was in the business development space for almost 3 years. So I got a good idea of what works and what doesn't, and really what tools you can use to optimize your cold outreach with AI. So at the end of the day, with cold outreach, the only ways you can go about it is cold calling, cold text messaging, cold emailing, which I'm a big fan of now. I wasn't super skilled at it during my corporate days, but now it's one of my best tactics for client acquisition, and then direct messaging on social media platforms. So, cold calling, a lot of people are very wary of. They don't like it. I love it. I'm crazy. I always cold call to keep my skills sharp and also to sometimes humble me from time to time. But that communication skill is a skill that's going to take you very far as an entrepreneur. Cold text messaging, email, direct message, all these can be optimized with AI. And the reason I love this so much is because it's a quick growth tactic. You can call someone up, book a meeting today, book them in for the day, and close them today without spending a cent on advertising. So it's very cost efficient as well. And with this, we can optimize it and automate with AI very, very efficiently. But in order to do that, we have to have good, clean data. So that's why I love Apollo IO. It's one of my favorite tools for getting a good lead list. Now, with Apollo IO, you have to keep in mind who your ICP is, right? Because Apollo IO scrapes directly from LinkedIn. So if you're servicing roofing companies, cleaning companies, I used to run a cleaning company. I'm not going to get into that, but if you're looking for that data, Apollo IO is not going to be the best tool, because think about it, those companies are not advertising on LinkedIn. So if you want to know how to find those lead lists, you can message me separately. But with Apollo IO, it's fabulous for corporate companies, think cybersecurity, wealth management, SaaS companies, companies that are advertising on LinkedIn, as it's a LinkedIn scraper. So with Apollo IO, we're going to do a few different things to get that data, but once you, and I have videos of that on my Instagram that you can check out on how to get a clean lead list. But to save some time here and to be most efficient, once you get that lead list, once you get that clean data, we're going to use these different tools to outreach those prospects and bring them onto your calendar. So hopefully you can close and sign your next 5 clients in the next 90 days. So for cold calling, we're going to use 11 labs. Now, 11 labs will take a shot of your voice, and you can use that integrated with Go High Level, which is a CRM that you can use to outreach and outbound to the leads that you got on Apollo. Now, I like to do my cold calling manually. I think this works, but I think you're always going to see the best results when you do it manually. You're always going to see the best results: email, DMs, calling when you do them manually. But with AI, you can just do such high amount of volume that it negates that manual personal touch, which gives you better results and quicker results at the same time. So 11 Labs for calling, integrated with GHO instantly. One of my favorite tools. Sign my first 5 clients with instantly, and I will always recommend it for cold email outreach, for sending out a mass amount of emails with also that touch of personalization. Now, if you want to get really personalized with it, you can get Clay, you can use Clay AI to highly personalize it. But at the same time, if you're trying to sign your first 5 clients, your budget probably isn't that high, and you want to keep things as cost effective as possible. So that's why I'll probably just recommend instantly for email outreach, email automation. And the way you can personalize it without using Clay, without racking up a cost that might be out of your budget, is you get really niche. You target people in the same state, same industry. So that way your message speaks pretty similarly across all the leads that you've generated through Apollo. And yeah, instantly is going to be that tool that once you have the correct contact, this is how you're going to get in their face and bring them onto your sales calendar. And then lastly, we have reply.io. Now, this works on Twitter, X, uh, LinkedIn, Facebook, you name it. It's an automated DM sender, right? You need clean data for it to work, but this is how you're going to automate your DMs, so you don't have to sit there and type out all these DMs. And that's why these tools are so effective at the end of the day, right? Because I can cold call people and bring them onto my calendar. I can cold email people. I can, cold DM people. But at the end of the day, I don't have time in the day to do all that and then service my existing clients. With this, I don't make a single call. I don't send a single email. I don't send a single DM, because AI does it all for me, bringing them onto my sales call. So all I have to do is focus on closing them and then delivering for my existing clients. So those are the best tools for business development in one of my preferred client acquisition channels, which is cold outreach. So another thing I'm a big fan of is content. LinkedIn, Meta, X, Twitter or whatever. So when we're talking Meta, we're talking Facebook, we're talking Instagram, two great methods, especially Facebook groups, and then YouTube. YouTube is my favorite channel for content. And a lot of people might disagree with me on this, but it's an evergreen platform. And I really think that if someone tunes in to a 20, 30-minute YouTube video of yours and they watch it all through, they might be taking notes. They're really going to see you as that industry expert. And if they're watching a video that long, what it means is that they do see you as that thought leader and that they were in tune with what you were saying. They were focused the entire time during that 30-minute video. And if they're spending 30 minutes out of their day to watch a video, it's probably a big problem of theirs. It's probably something that they're actively dealing with or they've dealt with in the past or that they see themselves dealing with in the future. So I think YouTube is by far the best channel for views to conversions, right? But at the end of the day, you're going to get more views with these ones because it's short form content. It's a lot easier for someone to digest as opposed to watching a 30-minute video, as opposed to reading a 5-second tweet. So Twitter's a great platform. I mean, you can get good at one of these platforms and have $1 million business, right? Twitter's great for brand awareness, also good for conversions, and also good for putting your personality out there. Instagram, Facebook, different cases. I know I keep them in Meta, but different use cases, right? Instagram is great for brand awareness. I think the paid ads on Instagram by far perform the best. And Facebook is also a phenomenal tool too. I sign clients just being active in Facebook groups, right? It's a great way to really boost your personal brand, but I don't think you'll see the same amount of conversions that you will on YouTube. And then lastly, we have LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn is a phenomenal tool. And I think the best strategy is combining the cold outreach and the content, because if you're sending DMs, if you're sending cold emails, the first thing they're going to do when a client gets that email is they're going to look for you on LinkedIn. And if you have no post, no interactions, then it's going to be a red flag in the customer's eyes. So it's good to do all of this at the same time. And the reason you can do it all at the same time is because we're going to teach you how to automate it with AI. But at the end of the day, the reason I'm a bigger fan of cold outreach as opposed to content for client acquisition is because content is a slow growth platform, right? It takes a little bit to get that snowball big enough to where you can start getting client acquisition. But I guarantee you, once you keep posting consistent quality content, it will be a money printing machine for your business. And it's very cost efficient at the end of the day, which is why I love content a lot, because I don't have to pay per booking. Posting is free. A lot of these tools are very low ticket tools, and they're very, very efficient at the same time. So I can be posting across all platforms, keep my costs down, and eventually people are going to pick up on the snowball that I'm building with the content, and eventually you're going to convert those prospects into paying clients. And there is a good amount of AI use. Now, I don't put heavy use. I use some use because I think with content, people are falling in love with you as a person, as an entrepreneur. And so I think AI is great, but I do think content needs more of a personalization. It needs more of you in it than it needs AI, right? And so with Twitter, with Facebook, with LinkedIn, a lot of people use ChatGPT for writing, and I would strongly suggest against it, because if you look what people are saying, they hate seeing ChatGPT posts. They really want to see personal stuff, but I think a good way you can kind of mask yourself with AI is with Claude. I think it's by far the best copywriting AI tool. And how you would use it is you would put in some of your copywriting. You'd say, "Hey, Claude, this is how I write. Come up with 5 tweets in XXX subjects for me to post," and it'll be sound very similar to you. But at the end of the day, you don't need to put in that mental bandwidth to write those tweets. You can automate it with AI. VO3, high quality AI tool, probably the best AI tool for generating characters out of the blue. It does come in the horizontal long form content view, which I think is not the best for, say, a platform where people are watching reels where it needs to be in that vertical form, but by far the best for character generation for content. And I think sometimes you can on the AI, sometimes you can make it just very funny that people will know it's AI, but they're like, yo, that is hilarious. Like I love that. And I think VO3 is probably the best for creating settings and creating characters, and then you can create the scripts. Now ChatGPT, I know I said I don't like ChatGPT for copywriting, but I am a huge fan of it for image generation. Now the thumbnail you see in this video is going to be generated by ChatGPT. I think it's one of the best tools for image generation. But I wouldn't use it for copywriting because I do think ChatGPT leans on reading more like it's written by AI as opposed to written by you. So you can use this for LinkedIn content, Twitter content, Facebook, Instagram for creating posts. I mean, you can take a post that you like, put two images together, be like, hey, make this with my face on it, right? And it'll generate a pretty clear image. And especially the higher tier packages you subscribe to, the better, more quality results you're going to get. And then we have Riverside. Now, if you subscribe to my channel, you know I like podcasts. I love to listen to them. I love to produce them. I really love when people share their stories. And me personally, I like to record podcasts, but I hate editing them. And that's why I love Riverside so much, because it uses AI to do all the editing for me so that I can really focus on, what I like to do with the podcast, which is recording it, which is having those conversations with other founders, and not really getting bogged down with the minute, kind of boring, busy work tasks like editing a video, because AI will do all the editing for me. So I'm a huge fan of Riverside for podcasting. And then, this isn't something that I use because I like to be on camera. Like I said, I do like to put my face on things, but I think Hey Gen is definitely the best AI tool you're going to use if you're a bit camera shy. Like if you're like, hey, I need to get those quick 1-2 minute reels out there, but I don't. Like I hate being on camera. I'm shy. I don't know what to say, and when I say it, I mess it up. So what you can do with HeyGen, record a 2-minute video of yourself, get a digital twin going, and then with that, I mean, if you really want to optimize it, you can get Claude to write you a script, put it into HeyGen, and then boom, you have infinite amount of short form content without ever having to record yourself. And with that, I think with content, it's very important to realize like, hey, who is watching my content? How long are they watching it for? To really identify which leads are going to be higher intent. And that's why I use Triggerify. I think Triggerify is one of the best tools on the market for identifying sales triggers. So what that means is like, hey, who is going from my LinkedIn post to my LinkedIn page and then going through my other posts? Who is watching my YouTube videos and clicking on my Instagram after, right? Triggerify identifies those sales triggers so that you know who are the high intent buyers, which people are really, interacting and engaging with my content, right? And that's going to be very important because at the end of the day, like I might post on LinkedIn, I get 6,000 views, right? But of those 6,000, there might be 10 that are really in tune with my content, really, really engaging with what I have to say and what I'm putting out there. And Triggerify will help you identify those people so then you can manually outreach to them. And this is going to be very warm because you're producing content. You can get their information on Apollo and you can manually outreach to them, book them onto your calendar, and hopefully what we all want to do in business, close the deal, but more importantly, deliver the offer, the service, the dream that you are selling to these people. So at the end of the day, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you can go and master these tools, sell these tools to other people, or use them in your business so that you can sign your next 5 clients with AI in the next 90 days. And if you have any further questions, you can put them in the comments. You can find me on LinkedIn at Santiago Faus, on Facebook at Santiago Faus, X at Santiago Faus, and then Instagram at santiagofaus.biz. Thank you so much, guys.